How did Switzerland become a country in the late 13th century? Three Alpine communities, Uri, Schwyz and Unterwalden, formed a defensive alliance. In August 1291, they signed a pact, the Federal Charter, pledging mutual aid in the exclusion of foreign judges to keep local peace and resist external threats. This Federal Charter of 1291 is retrospectively regarded as Switzerland's founding document, anchoring the idea of an allied Swiss confederation. It secured the status quo among the valley elites, establishing a tradition of self-government that later Confederates traced back to this alliance. The fledgling Confederacy proved its strength in battle. In November 1315 at Morgarten, the lightly armed Swiss infantry ambushed a larger Habsburg force. The Austrians were routed, with many knights slain or drowned, ensuring the survival of the new alliance. In December 1315, on the heels of Morgarten, the Allies renewed their commitment in the Pact of Brunnen, turning a pragmatic agreement into a sworn confederacy. Over the next decades, other cantons joined: Lucerne, 1332, Zurich, 1351, Glarus and Zug, 1352, and Bern, 1353, expanding the old Swiss Confederacy. Another decisive victory came at Sempach in July 1386. Swiss forces of Uri, Schwyz, and Unterwalden met Duke Leopold III's Austrian army. Despite facing heavy cavalry, the Confederates won the day and killed Leopold. This Battle of Sempach boosted Swiss prestige and demonstrated the effectiveness of footpike tactics. Legend even credits the heroism of Arnold Winkelried, though sources are mixed. Successes at Morgarten and Sempach firmly established the Confederation's reputation, and by the late 14th century, the Swiss had driven back Habsburg ambitions in the region. Originally, the Swiss lands were part of the Holy Roman Empire, under the nominal authority of the emperor. Over time, the Confederates gained increasing self-rule. After defeating the Swabian League, an imperial alliance in 1499, the Swiss won the implicit right to manage their own affairs. The emperor's reform of 1495 did not apply to them, and Swiss cantons claimed immunity from most imperial courts. Even the papacy enlisted Swiss troops. In 1506, Pope Julius II formed the Papal Swiss Guard. By the 16th century, the Swiss Confederacy was effectively independent in practice, though it remained formally part of the empire until 1648. The Protestant Reformation, circa 1520s to 1530s, split Switzerland along confessional lines. In 1523, Zurich, under reformer Huldrych Zwingli, adopted Protestantism, and nearby cantons like Bern, Basel, and Schaffhausen soon followed. Zwingli was killed in battle in 1531, reflecting the fierce religion wars, the Kappel Wars of 1529 and 1531. By mid-century, some cantons remained Catholic, Lucerne, Uri, Schwyz, etc., while others were Protestant, and Glarus and Appenzell were internally divided. Each canton made the minority religion illegal within its borders, and the Confederation split into Protestant and Catholic camps. Two separate diets even met at Erau, Protestant, and Lucerne, Catholic. Despite these divisions, the Swiss Confederation managed to survive this religious turmoil. In 1536, the Republic of Geneva formally adopted Protestantism under the leadership of French reformer John Calvin. Calvin's strict theology influenced Protestant churches far beyond Switzerland. The pattern of a mixed confederation, some cantons Protestant, others Catholic, persisted for centuries. At times, this led to renewed conflict, for example, the Wars of Villmergen in 1656 and 1712, and required delicate balance. Generally, the Swiss sought a fragile peace to focus on self-governance. During the 30 Years' War, 1618 to 1648, Switzerland remained an oasis of peace in Europe, supplying mercenaries to many sides and carefully avoiding direct entanglement. In the Peace of Westphalia, 1648, which ended that war, the European powers formally recognized Swiss independence from the Holy Roman Empire. Switzerland could no longer be legally said to owe allegiance to the emperor, marking its de facto sovereignty. Shortly thereafter, the Valtellina Valley was returned to its ally Graubünden, but Swiss internal divisions over religion would continue. The French Revolution brought upheaval. In 1798, French armies invaded Switzerland and dissolved the old Confederacy, imposing the centralized Helvetic Republic 1798 to 1803, with its capital at Aarau and later Lucerne and Bern. This sister republic abolished most cantonal autonomy, sparking rural uprisings that were harshly suppressed. Swiss citizens won some modern reforms, equal rights for Jews in 1798, but centralization and French occupation proved deeply unpopular. Napoleon intervened to end the turmoil. In February 1803, he issued the Act of Mediation, restoring the canton's sovereignty and reviving a confederation. Under this compromise, 7 new cantons were admitted: Aargau, Thurgau, Grisons, St. Gallen, Vaud, Ticino, Valais, on equal footing. The old federal structure was largely reinstated, and Swiss French-speaking regions, Vaud and Valais, remained part of Switzerland, preserving territorial unity. At the Congress of Vienna, 1814 to 1815, that reshaped Europe after Napoleon, the Swiss Confederation's independence was cemented. The great powers re-established Swiss sovereignty and agreed to guarantee its perpetual neutrality. To balance power, the cantons of Geneva, Neuchâtel, and Valais formally joined Switzerland as full members, extending the Confederation to roughly its current borders. From this point on, Swiss neutrality became a central tenet of European diplomacy. Internally, the cantons began revising their constitutions, Long Diet at Zurich in 1814, and reorganizing the Federal Diet under a new federal treaty, Bundesvertrag, of 1815. After a brief civil war, the Sonderbund War of 1847, between Catholic and liberal cantons, Switzerland adopted its first federal constitution on 12 September 1848. This created a modern federal state. It centralized key powers, defense, trade, currency, legal matters, in a federal government while leaving other matters to the cantons. The new democratic framework replaced the old Diet with a bicameral parliament, establishing Swiss nationality above cantonal identity. Since then, Switzerland has evolved as a federal republic of 26 cantons. The 1848 Constitution, amended in 1874, laid the foundations of the modern Swiss Confederation, which has remained independent, neutral, and peaceful into the present.